Hi, my name is Dontrell Jackson Ross, and this presentation is the Logic Model, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, DEI. What is DEI? DEI stands for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. It is a set of principles and practices aimed at promoting a diverse and inclusive workplace or society, where people from various backgrounds are valued, treated fairly, and have equal opportunities. Egan and LaHaye, 2017. We will examine DEI as it relates to my organization, which is Columbus State University, otherwise known as CSU. Columbus State University is a member of the University System of Georgia, located 100 miles south of Atlanta. The student population is approximately 8,300 students. And unique to this presentation is that 68% of students at CSU are first-generation college students from diverse racial, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds. The first part of DEI, diversity, and how it relates to CSU and the problem of practice. Diversity refers to a variety of different backgrounds, perspectives, and identities. Kenneth Magdalene, 2016, stated, "The difference between diversity and equity is that diversity provides one with a place at the table, while equity provides one with a voice at the table." Page 14. Diversity recognizes that individuals bring unique experiences and perspectives to the table, which can enhance creativity, innovation, and problem solving. The problem in practice at CSU lies in overcoming historical underrepresentation, unconscious biases in the recruitment and hiring process, and addressing tokenism, where individuals from underrepresented groups might feel they were included solely to meet a quota rather than for their skill sets and qualifications. Equity involves creating a fair and just environment where everyone has the opportunity to succeed. It acknowledges that individuals may face different barriers and challenges based on their background and identity and seek to address these disparities. According to Keegan and LaHaye, 2017, equity involves providing individuals with resources, opportunities, and support they need to succeed. The problem in practice for equity at CSU involves implementation due to systemic inequalities that have been deeply ingrained at the institution. At CSU, disparities in equity relate to areas such as pay scale, access to advancement opportunities, and support systems. An example of this would be the add drop period that occurs within the first 2 weeks of the semester, where many students from disenfranchised backgrounds and low income backgrounds or who are first generation, they are dropped from their courses from not being able to clear their financial aid bill in time. Inclusion is the practice of fostering a sense of belonging and involvement for all individuals, regardless of their differences. It goes beyond simply having diverse representation and focuses on creating an environment where people feel valued, respected, and able to contribute their unique perspectives. Inclusive organizations promote open communication, collaboration, and a culture of belonging. At CSU, the problem practice involves the lack of institutional interest and engagement in helping students from culturally relevant organizations such as Divine Nine fraternities and sororities. Students also struggle with resource allocation in this effort, while other well-known fraternities such as Sigma Alpha Epsilon, which is the oldest fraternity in the United States, receive more than enough funding to fund its events. Mixon and Jones highlights principle of intercultural responsiveness, suggesting that becoming culturally aware and interculturally sensitive can lead to IRR. Cultural awareness can understand and help people think how they can become more aware culturally. So here's the logic model for creating a Divine Nine at CSU. This Divine Nine has to do with organizations and committees that are dedicated to these type of fraternities and sororities. First is resource inputs. The resource inputs would be the student interest and regulation meetings, campus extracurricular days, and also grant funding for student club allocation. The activities that will follow subsequently would be a chat and snack table. And then after that, it would be lunch and learn interest meetings, and finally, formation and planning. The outputs would include students creating their own Divine Nine fraternity and sororities, and also these students being able to create partnerships with other chapters to contribute to the DEI commitment of the institution. And then lastly, the output would be the events and initiatives that would happen as a result of their efforts. The outcomes from this would be that students will feel validated, respected, and develop their sense of belonging on campus. They will also be able to contribute to the governance process of student organizations by maintaining compliance with student standards. And then lastly, they will be able to develop their personal growth. Over a period of time, the impact that this will have will be the enrichment of campus culture. Also, they will be able to engage as alumnus. And then lastly, they will have a long-term legacy. These are all of the steps that would involve the logic model for creating a Divine Nine sorority and fraternity at CSU. The recommendations for CSU include several options. First and foremost, leadership should prioritize transparency and open communication to build trust. Fortunately, this practice has already been implemented by the new university president. Regular town hall meetings, open forums, and platforms from anonymous feedback have created a sense of shared ownership and transparency, which has helped to bridge the gaps of distrust. Also, CSU can address power dynamics as it relates to the shared governance models that involve all stakeholders, that include students, faculty, staff, and members of the community. And then lastly, as a recommendation, CSU can examine policies and practices by conducting regular audits of recruitment that include hiring, promotion, and the tenure process to ensure they are fair and that they are indeed unbiased. These recommendations correlate with the literature of intercultural responsiveness. Mixon and Jones, 2017, highlighted that the principles of IR suggest that becoming more culturally aware and intercultural sensitivity can lead to indeed IR. Cultural awareness can be understood as how we think about culture, our thoughts about culture, and cognitive perspectives on culture. Intercultural sensitivity would be how we feel about the culture within these different contexts, the emotions that arise. And if we work together as a CSU community, these things can be accomplished. Thank you for your time. Here are the references for this presentation. Thank you.